Hello everyone, welcome to XiaoWu's channel. What does a day look like in China, for a 31-year-old guy, with no job, no income, staying home with his 5-month-old baby? I'm back in my hometown right now, just after celebrating the Chinese Lunar New Year. Since we had our little one, my wife's first thing every morning is taking care of the baby, applying moisturizer all over him because he's got sensitive skin and eczema. The doctor told us to keep him well moisturized to ease the itching. Our baby's nickname is 567, it's pronounced Wu Lu Qi in Chinese, and since my last name is Wu, which sounds like the number 5, I just gave him this simple numeric nickname. My baby is 5 months old now, and he wakes up happy most mornings. If you play with him, he'll flash you a big smile. When baby was born, I'd already been out of work for 2 months. China's economy has been rough these past few years. Tons of people are facing unemployment and lost income, and I'm one of them. Most companies here don't offer any unemployment benefits. You can look it up online if you're curious about the details. I've got some savings left, so we're not totally broke, but I was super anxious back then. I kept sending out resumes, but got 0 responses. That's when I started this YouTube channel. While job hunting, I figured sharing my life here could maybe bring in some extra cash to support our little family. My hometown is in a rural area in the northeastern part of Jiangxi province, in inland eastern China. In most southern Chinese villages, people start the day with a bowl of congee, rice porridge. My mom gets up early and cooks it in a pressure cooker for the whole family. It's simple to make, just rice with a lot of water, pressure cooked for about 10 to 15 minutes. Let me show you what we pair with our congee. This is deep-fried tofu puffs, called doufu pao in Chinese, meaning bubbly tofu. If you want to see how it's made, check out my previous video on making tofu. Then there's this, fermented tofu, or mei tofu, which literally means moldy tofu. It tastes salty and spicy with a unique flavor. And this is pickled vegetables, sour and tangy from fermentation. These sides add flavor to the plain congee, which is pretty bland on its own. Salty and sour stuff makes it more interesting. Honestly, this breakfast isn't super nutritious. No real protein, mostly carbs. It's meant to fuel farmers for early morning work in the fields. I sometimes add an egg for some protein boost. What about you guys? What's a typical breakfast where you're from? A few days after Lunar New Year, folks head out to big coastal cities like Shanghai to find work. But with the economy down these past years, people aren't rushing off, they're sticking around home longer. It's already day 8 after the new year, and the village is still buzzing with people. I pushed 5, 6, 7 in his stroller down this road for just a bit, and he started crying. I think he wanted milk, so I hurried back home. Our baby is allergic to cow's milk. Right after birth, when we used regular formula, he broke out in eczema all over, super itchy, and he couldn't sleep at night. On the doctor's advice, we switched to hydrolyzed formula, and his symptoms improved a lot. But it's pricey, especially the local version. We found the UK version online for way cheaper, about 60% of the domestic price. No idea why the Chinese one costs so much. A 400-gram can of milk powder costs approximately $50 and lasts at most 4 days. That's a big hit for a family with no income. Lately, someone suggested trying goat milk formula. They said it worked for their kid with similar issues. So we're giving it a shot. Goat milk is regular formula, and if it works, it'll cut our costs even more. This goat milk tastes great, and baby loves it. He doesn't fuss at all when drinking. Fingers crossed he adapts well. Post milk, 5, 6, 7's all smiles. He loves this walking singing toy, super curious about it. His grandma got him this bunny that moves. Whenever he cries, we turn it on, and it grabs his attention right away. After every feed, you've got to wash the bottles thoroughly. Babies' tummies are delicate, no bacteria allowed. This is a daily repeat chore. We don't have tap water here, it's well water from underground. When we're out, we pump it up to the rooftop tank. The water's clean since we're in a rural area, far from cities and factories. There's even a scenic spot nearby, so the environment's great. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll take you on a tour of the local sites later. After washing, I rinse with hot water and pop them into the sterilizer for drying and disinfection. That way, everything's spotless for the baby. Living with my parents in rural China, my mom whips up simple home-cooked meals for lunch. Chinese kitchens often have powerful range hoods because so much stir-frying involves oil, and you don't want the place reeking of smoke. Today's lunch is straightforward: stir-fried carrots, pork bone soup, greens, and river shrimp. In the countryside, we grow our own veggies and just buy meat. Chinese folks love bone broth, think it's nutritious, so pork bones fetch a good price, about $2 per 500 g. Do you guys drink pork bone soup in your countries? After lunch, my neighbors across the street are doing a housewarming exorcism ritual. Pretty interesting, let me explain. This is common in southeastern China. It starts with people holding bamboo sticks, banging every corner of the new house's main hall. They believe new builds have evil spirits or bad vibes that need scaring off. Bamboo's supposedly good for that. The main guy is this man with a chicken. He's chanting some spells. I can't make out the words. On his cue, another guy with firecrackers strapped on lights them and walks around the house. Then they both run out with the chicken and crackers, while everyone tosses their bamboo sticks out, symbolizing driving away the bad stuff. Before I knew it, those two had bolted far away, luring the spirits off. That's the end of it. The chicken gets released at least a kilometer away, but honestly, someone usually picks it up. Then there's this other custom. See those folks on the rooftop? They throw down gifts, and people below scramble for them. It contains coins, candy, and other snacks. We set aside half an hour each day to help the baby practice rolling over and keep him in a tummy position. A 5-month-old baby needs to practice rolling over and tummy time a lot. This helps develop his upper body strength and prepares him for sitting up independently more quickly later on. My online order of baby formula arrived, and I need to drive to the courier point in town to pick it up. The courier point is about 5.5 kilometers from my home, which takes about 15 minutes by car. This is the largest courier point in town, and it's always packed with people during the spring festival, often with long queues. During the spring festival, the town streets are bustling and lively. After the Lantern Festival, January 15th on the lunar calendar, most people go back to work in other places, and the town returns to its usual tranquility. Because the courier point is quite far from home, We usually wait until all the other packages arrive, before going to pick them up together. Come evening, my wife gives the baby a wipe down and applies moisturizer. Finally, he snuggles into his sleep sack and drifts off to her lullaby.